Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you and good morning to you. Indeed, welcome to today, Monday, the 26th of January, 2026. I'm Pearson Bowen. So wonderful having you company. Thank you very much for waking up to keep us company as well. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Hope you took the time to spend your time in a very meaningful way, to use your time in a most impactful way, and most of all, to take the time to say to God, thank you, and to find your space in a place of worship. Did you? Did you? Did you not? That's all right. Perhaps next time around. So give great thought and consideration to how else you will be using your time today, tomorrow, and every single moment that you do have in sacrifice and praise to God and help to others as well as you do. So to all of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, good morning. How do you do? Thank you so much for waking up to keep us company as well. Share the show. Do not keep this to yourself. That's being selfish. Tell others about it and tell others about us. Let them come by to be with us every weekday morning from 6 in the morning till 8 o'clock. Just a couple hours of us entertaining and engaging and enlightening ourselves. Of course, if you know of something or someone whose story has to be told, you have to tell us about it. And we encourage you to do so by sending us an email. The email address is right there on your screen. It is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, we say thank you for being partners with us. Thank you for pointing us in directions of stories and people whose lives we need to touch. So thank you continuing to share with us your ideas and your thoughts. We really, really, truly appreciate it. So talk among yourselves, talk to us as well. We love to read your comments. We love to hear from you. So feel free anytime to engage in everything that we do today. Speaking of today, you know, I was sitting here waiting for you to come by and meet with me this morning. I was giving thought to what this moment in time represents. And I kept reflecting on the fact that my father and my mother, until they were well beyond 21 years, did not have the right to vote. They did not have the right to vote simply by the color of their skin or the fact that they did not have the kind of wealth that other people in our society did. But thank God in 1951, the opportunity was presented to them to be able to do so. To those over 21 years and over, we had the opportunity by adult suffrage to vote. And so it's an opportunity which we should not squander. So this year marks 75 years of that opportunity where a vast majority of us known as Barbadians have the right to vote. What are you doing with your right to vote? What are you doing with your right to vote? There was a time when people did not have the right to vote. Now we all have the right to vote. Not simply because of the color of our skin or our bank account, but because we have the right to vote. Don't miss your right to vote. So Barbados marks 75 years of adult suffrage, and so that's what it's about. So take some time, those of you still in that generation, to have the conversation with your young people in your family to help them understand what it means to enfranchise oneself and to use that enfranchisement in a significant way by voting. And so I want to encourage you not to sit by and just allow life to happen. Actively participate in life. And speaking of actively participating in life, have you ever thought what it would take for us, and our question of the day, by the way, and I'd love to hear from you on this question of the day. Remember, you can always give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563, or as you think it, you can write it. Write it in our comment sections on Facebook and YouTube as well. The question is right there on your screen. What do you think is the most important way to protect Barbados history for future generations? What do you say is the most important way to protect Barbados history for future generations? Is it in preserving historic buildings and sites? Do you think that's the most important way to protect our history? Is it in creating shows or documentaries? Is it because that's the way we engage with information through shows and documentary? Is that the best way to preserve our history? Is it through young people sharing on social media? Is there value in what young people have to share? Should we encourage more of it as a means of preserving our history for future generations? Is it through your consumption of knowledge in books or through oral history with our elders? How do you think we can all as a people protect Barbados history for future generations? What do you think your role can be in preserving Barbados history for future generations? 228-5562 or 228-5563, or write your comment in the comment section on our Facebook and YouTube streams. We'd love to hear from you. Truly, truly would love to hear from you. I grew up in a time where right next to my house was my grandmother, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. They lived there, grew up there. I grew up next to them. And so I had the benefit of being able to hear from them as they spoke. They told the story. They told the story of who we are, where we've come from, the things we've done, whether it's political or otherwise history. I got to know that history. But there are generations of us who exist today who do not have that benefit. Are we cheating them? Have we lost and not shared that history? And if so, how can we do so? Is it through the way we speak? Is it by the fact that we were allowed to go into libraries and read for ourselves, to consume the information and knowledge gathered by others over time so that we understand more and now we can share? Is it preservation of historic buildings and sites? How else can we as a Barbadian people preserve and protect Barbados history for future generations? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You know me. I'd love very much as you hold a position, be able to argue your position. Tell me why. I always love the why. The why is so very important indeed. 228-5562 or 63. We have a call. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Sweet Rons, good morning to you. How do you do?
I'm doing well.
Oh, that's good.
Feeling on top of the world.
Oh, there. Be careful. It can get slippery up there because sometimes it gets wet.
Yeah, but I know how to hold on.
Oh, you know how to hold, and to whom you should hold on, right?
Yes.
My girl,
the
indeed.
unchanging hand of the master.
Amen on that one. So, talk to me. How did you spend your time at the weekend? What do you think? What do you do?
Well, yesterday I know I had a meeting with the early morning wall crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
We had our first meeting for the year, and that went well because we were making plans for this year.
Fantastic.
And to see the others was great.
Oh, that's good. And of course, as time goes, we will let them know what the plans are, right, Rons?
Oh yes,
Of course.
They will be on. They'll just know.
Now, I know you're one of these people who likes to preserve history. You like to tell your grandchildren the history. I know that's what you do. And you document it on your social media all the time. So what do you think, Rons, from the list, are some of the most important ways to protect Barbados history for future generations?
I think the number one. Preserving historical sites.
Mm-hmm.
And, teaching and sharing the story, the history about the buildings, the events, everything, because, we got a rich history.
Yes, we do.
We have a rich history.
Yes.
And as I shared part of mine last night from my community, understand? And
yes.
There in my community is my great-grandmother's home, right? So you can imagine that, Pearson.
I can't begin to imagine. But I know where my grandmother's home is too, both of them.
Pardon me?
I know both of my grandparents' homes, so I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And the stories that the grandparents would say down at night, I tell you. This I could still remember many that my grandmother told us, and I just still laugh.
I am sure. So you continue that tradition, Sweet Rons. I really want to thank you for sharing with us this morning, all right?
Yeah, thanks, Pearson. Preserve the history, the buildings and stuff. You go overseas and you see historic buildings, years, Yeah. We need to do that here.
I agree. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. And we have this push-down mentality. We like to push it down. It's old. Get rid of it. Why not preserve it for another generation. Create the conversation around it. It hurts my heart. The Hope Plantation building is no longer there. I grew up right there on the edge of the Hope Plantation in St. Lucie, and that building that we enjoyed walking through and peeping into as children, that no longer exists. That's a part of my history that's now erased, and I wished I had the opportunity to have taken my nephew, Noah, on that trip through that building, but it no longer exists. So we have to find ways to preserve our history for future generations. What are your thoughts? 228-5562 or 228-5563. While I wait on your comment on your call, just to let you know that Royalton Vestance right here in Barbados is advising you that now both lanes on Highway 1 in Whole Town are fully open to traffic with a temporary surface and a normal traffic flow for your morning commute. And so the workers are undertaking this work through safety measures, and they are on schedule. The roadway is fully passable for all, both motorists and pedestrians. The asphalt surface will be installed later tonight to minimize disruption, and the road will remain open during the paving operations. Royalton is thanking you, the residents, the commuters, and the wider public for your patience and cooperation throughout the work. And they wish all of you a very safe journey today in your commute. So again, Royalton Vestance is letting you know that along Highway 1 in Whole Town, the road is open both ways to traffic indeed today. And so, but the paving starts tonight. They will not close the road during the paving, but they'll want you to be careful as you traverse, and they'll get the work done as quickly as possible. Thanking you for your patience and your understanding. Also to remind you that we have big thanks to the National Conservation Commission. We believe in greening, preserving our green spaces. That's part of our history as well. And so if you're looking to bring life and color to your home, to your garden, or to your business, at Codrington Plant Nursery and Garden Center, they grow the plants that make Barbados beautiful. From vibrant flowers to shade-giving and coastal resilient trees, the plants enhance parks, beaches, roadsides, hotels, and even your backyard. So every month, thousands of plants are carefully propagated and prepared for planting, keeping our island green, climate resilient, and visually stunning. And when you purchase from Codrington, you're supporting local jobs, reducing imports, and investing in a sustainable future. So whether you're planting a community park, revitalizing your garden, or adding a splash of color, it all begins at Codrington Plant Nursery and Garden Center. So we want to encourage you today to consider preserving your green spaces around the space where you live. Remember, 228-5562 or 63. Write your comments on our comment section. We'll be sharing more on the question of the day. What is the most important way to protect Barbados history for future generations? Is it in the preservation of historic buildings and sites? Is it creating shows and documentaries? Is it allowing young people to share on social media about the history? Or is it through books or oral traditions? Those are some options, but your options are what we want to hear about. So feel free to comment. We're taking a break here on Morning Barbados. We're back with more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed.
60 minutes after 6 o'clock, I asked you at the top of the show about preservation of history. We talked about the Barbadian history. The Barbadian history is a tapestry of experiences of so many different people in so many different spaces indeed. And culture has a way of impacting the way we view that history and the way we want to engage in that history as well. But the culture of the East Indian is a history that also has to be told and is being told. As a matter of fact, there's a new publication out, and that publication is what we'll share with you now, as I'm happy to be joined this morning by the co-authors of the book, Historic Mosques of Bridgetown, Barbados, in Sabir Nakuda and Suleiman Bulbuli. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
These two Muslim brothers, young and older, but nevertheless, they're with me. And this history, I think, is such a rich history because it documents not just the mosques of Barbados, but the very first mosque that was opened here in Barbados, but it also tells the history of the East Indian, how they got here in the first place. So let's talk a little bit, let's start there, Sabir, because a lot of times we see East Indians, we see the work they do, we see the mosques, and then we ask, but y'all aren't African, how did y'all get here? Tell me the story.
Yeah, so the first East Indian Muslim, and then actually the first East Indian happened to be Muslim, and he came from West Bengal, a Hooghly district, a village called Jeanpur. He really didn't set off to come to Barbados. Apparently his father-in-law was living in Trinidad, so he decided to go to Trinidad, probably to stay there. And to be honest with you, because all of my work is oral research, when I went looking for that particular village, it took me about 2 weeks. And I was saying, you know, it took me so long to get to this village. I could imagine how long does it take took this individual to get to Trinidad, you know, not Kolkata, because from Kolkata to Jeanpur, you know, it took me 2 weeks to find the village. And so this first East Indian, his name was Bashat Ali Diwan, and he went to his father-in-law, and then somehow he decided that I don't want to live in Trinidad anymore, and he just picked Barbados by chance. When he came to Barbados, then he decided to go into itinerant trading. That's a niche market, because as you know, in those days, black poor people could not get credit. Whatever they needed to buy, they had to buy it on a cash basis. And so for him, it was a niche market. And so he started to buy basic items, you know, maybe cutlass and hat and maybe school uniform for children and so on, and then go out into the countryside and to house, door to door, crediting these items. And Barbadian people very much appreciated that, because that is something that was lacking in Barbados anyway. And so he built relationship, but he also built his clientele and so on. And later on, more and more Bengalis came. And then in 1929, around 1928, that is the Bengali East Indian Muslims who came to Barbados. There were about 4 East Indian Gujarati from the state of Gujarat decided that there was an advertisement in Brazil that they wanted someone to cut timber at that time. So they said, okay, let's go to cut timber up there. But they didn't like the place, nor did they understood this language. And then later they ended up in Guyana. And as you know, indentured labor began in 1838. So there were many East Indian Muslims in Guyana. So they decided that, look, let's pay their passage so that they could return home. So these 4 guys decided, no, I would rather do some business. So one of them said, well, you know, in Barbados you could sell charcoal and you could sell coconuts, and like you could make some good money. And so they get one of those
schooners. Schooner.
schooner and fill it with coconut and charcoal and decided to come, landed in Sutter Street and start selling charcoal. So they did that maybe for 2 or 3 times, and then they met the Bengalis somewhere in Broad Street, I suppose, because they were living just nearby Abed's and Milk Market. And decided that, look, this seems to be, doing good. Let us settle here. And so in 1929, around February, the Gujarati Muslims then also settled in Barbados, and they began to live along with the Bengali Muslims. And so that is how the trade of itinerant trading began.
Milk Market Subtle Streets will now be always known as that birthplace, so to speak, that space where they began to settle. But it wasn't until 1951 when the first mosque was built. Because a lot of what Muslims do is everywhere you go, you pray. And you have to, as a part of your ritual, I use that word broadly, you pray constantly. So in all that time, between 1910 and 1951, what was going on for worship?
So it is our, we have to pray 5 times a day, after affirmation that there is no one worthy of worship but God. Then the second thing is then worship, worship, so Muslim pray 5 times a day, and you can pray either at home or at work or wherever you are, but you must pray. So they would pray at home, individual would pray at home, and in those days too, some of them would live in a commune, in a community, so 5 or 6 of them would live together. So they would pray together. And eventually, they decided that, look, and like how fish cannot live without water, Muslims cannot live without a mosque. Mosque is a place of assembling, praying in congregations, meeting, time of need, time of happiness, funeral time, wedding times. So mosque was the central place for Muslims. And so they got together and they saved money. You remember in those days, they would collect from their customers 25 cents and 50 cents and so on. So in spite of that, they saved something from that and start saving and saving until they got enough money that they could purchase a piece of land in Kensington New Road. And Kensington New Road in the 50s, in the 40s, was full of potholes, right? Even the mosque itself, land that they purchased, part of it was also kind of a pothole. So they had to fill it up and so on and make it, level so that they could then begin to build the mosque. All the expenses of building the mosque came through donations. Some people would give. At the beginning, they decided that, okay, we're going to do our lump sum. So somebody would have probably paid $50, depending on how much money they would have brought from their itinerant trading business. Some people would, according to their means. And then later on, they had nominated a committee who would go around collecting the money. And so in this way, they purchased the land first, and then they started to build the mosque. But not that they only helped financially in building the mosque. Whenever they did off from work, they would then also come and help probably, lay the blocks or carry the blocks or do some other work. In other words, they were assisting in the manual work of building the mosque. Because for Muslims, building the mosque is very, very important. And so that was their first priority. Some people, of course, when they were doing business, they would have owed the merchants in Swan Street or whatever, or in Broad Street. Right. Some of them delayed or deferred their payments. In other words, the mosque came first, and so it was very, very difficult situation in Barbados. As you know, it was being colonized, poor housing, poor health system, and Barbadian people were not getting a lot of money in the countryside. and yet they persist that building a mosque is a priority for us. And so in January, they started officially to open the mosque.
And so it speaks to perseverance, it speaks to commitment by the East Indian Muslim to be able to grow in this kind of way. And as I was listening to it, I kept thinking, imagine he left India, came to Barbados, and had to design a mosque. How much in your history did this mosque look like something that he would have experienced in India?
Unfortunately, when Bashat Ali came to Barbados in 1910, the mosque was built in 1950s. So Bashat Ali had left during the day of the riot, 1937. So he would not have seen the mosque.
Okay.
You understand? So they were, but they were Bengalis who were living in Barbados. So the whole construction of the mosque was really was the work for the Gujarati mosque. You remember who came in 1929? But Bengalis would come and worship and so on. And then Gujaratis were more learned in the religious aspect of it. So even during the time of Bashat Ali, when the first Gujarati came, who among the four that came, one of them was a Hufaz, or one who memorized the Quran. And so up top market there were 3 stories, and in one of the room they would designate that room as a prayer room. And so he would lead the prayer. And those Bengalis who did not know how to pray, or who were not so educated or learn about the basic principle of Islam, they would then teach them how to pray and so on. The mosque that we have now mostly would have been structured from the village of Kafleta in Gujarat. That's where the first Gujaratis would have come from.
Okay.
And many Gujaratis in Barbados first came from this village called Kafleta. Actually, right now I am doing my book that has to do with the origin of the Muslims from India to Barbados. And from 1929 until 2023, there were 100 Gujaratis who had come during that period. So you will see that a lot of Gujaratis came in earlier times.
Suleiman, listening to the story, 1, chronicling the story, 2, what did you learn about you and about the faith?
Personally, I learned a lot. Sabir and I go back 35 years in this work together, this relationship, this friendship, and I've learned a lot from Sabir. He's given me a passion for the history of Muslims on the island, history of East Indian community, history of generally, and documenting the history of the Mosque of Bridgetown was a very important and seminal work for me and for us, because it speaks to future generations knowing what is the history, what went into these 2 buildings that you see in Bridgetown. And today is actually 75 years that the mosque in Kensington New Road was officially opened, January 26, 1951. And that speaks to a longevity of being in a space, and what does that mean to us as Muslims, but also to wider Barbados. And so I am happy to be able to work with Sabir on this. A lot of his work came from persons who have now passed on. So we see the importance of documenting, putting it in book form, so that future generations can go back to something and say, oh, here's our history. And they can also build upon it as well going forward, you know.
In history, the Bible history for sure, I know you read a different text. The city has always meant a lot.
Yes.
And so to have established the first mosque in the city, no doubt was a part of meaning a lot.
Yes.
What was the significance of it, that location? I want to come back to the location, because I think location means a lot as well. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So as Sabir mentioned, when the early East Indian Muslims came to Barbados, they settled in and around Bridgetown. Right. That's where they settled. That's where they were. That's where they're comfortable. And it's important to note too that their business was not in Bridgetown in the beginning. Their business was outside of Bridgetown, but they always came back to Bridgetown. It was the hub. It was where they were. And so prayers were established in the city as well. And because they lived in the city, they wanted a space that was close to where they lived, so that they can literally walk to the mosque. So in fact, when the space in Kensington New Road was bought, a number of persons then went in and bought houses in that street as well. And on that street, about probably half the street is now still owned and Muslims live in the street. Similarly with Sobers Lane, the other mosque, they lived around the area. So they wanted a space that they could live close to the mosque. So the mosque was built and they bought property and lived close to the mosque. As the community grew and persons moved out of Bridgetown, you find the same thing happening. So in Belleville, for example, Muslims moved into Belleville, then a mosque was built in the 80s and 90s. Similarly, in our space in Claremont and Wanstead area, we looked for a mosque because of the number of Muslims. So the idea is to live close to the mosque, live where you pray.
I like that concept. Live where you pray.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I'll take a break here. I want to come back and talk a little bit more about the preservation of it, and so that for generations to come, Muslims will see that place where they pray as a very central part of where their existence as well. We'll take a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It was on this day in 1951 when the mosque in Bridgetown was opened for prayer, and you pray where you live, and you live where you pray. And so we're marking that historic occasion today, 75 years of service to Barbadian communities. That mosque that you see right there on your screen, that mosque is now a bigger mosque. And certainly it's a space where Muslims gather daily, 5 times at least a day for prayer and to fellowship and everything else, because it's community on which the faith is built. And so I want to hear a little bit now about preservation of it, because there are many other faiths on the island that are challenged in many different ways just to continue to exist. But the Muslim faith is still strong, and the Muslims who practice the faith still are obedient to it. So talk to me a little bit about what you put in place to ensure that it stays.
So from very early on, in addition to building the mosque for the community, a school was put in place, a school of learning of the faith. So from the age of 4 or 5 years old, and that has remained from then until now, where 5 days a week at times, the young ones from 5 onwards will come and learn the faith. They will learn how to read the Quran, they will learn Islam, and so that has been put in place, and that sets the foundation really in a young person to learn and grow within the faith. So once you have that foundation, it's an anchor for you to come back, and that's important within our teachings, that you ground your children in the knowledge of the faith and the practices of the faith. And I think that has helped maintain and preserve the faith among the community. The knowledge of it, the understanding of it, that helps to preserve. Family also helps to preserve. Keeping the family together helps to preserve the community as a whole.
And to continue what Suleimana said, is that it is continuing up to today. And earlier, of course, the first Gujarati women came in 1948. So therefore, although the mosque was built in 1951, they didn't have any Gujarati children. But they were all children of mixed marriage, because when Muslims came to Barbados, they didn't have enough money to call their wives to Barbados, and so they married to Barbadian women, and so they converted to Islam too. And when they had children, and the first mosque was really, or the first madrasa, the place of learning, started in the mosque itself, right? And most of the children, or all of the children, were the children of the mixed marriage. And so that continued, and then of course when the Gujarati Muslim women began to arrive from 1948 and onwards, then you had the you had the mixed marriage children, and then you had the Gujarati children from the Gujarati ladies and so on. And so the madrasa, or the Islamic school, still continues up to today, just like from the day the mosque was built. The door of the mosque has never been shut, and we hope and we pray to God that it will never be shut until the day of judgment, whenever it would be.
You talk to me about capturing this information. It's an oral tradition that you used.
Yes.
They taught to you, you document the story, and you tell it. Did you cross-check? Did you have to do a lot of cross-checking just to be sure that what you were told was not corrupted by time?
Yeah, God has been merciful to me. I came to Barbados in 1958, so probably I'm older than you in Barbados. No,
Yes.
let me put it this way:
You've been
I'm
living
here
in Barbados
longer
much
than you.
than I have been, for
Right,
sure.
I'm here longer than you.
Yes.
I hope, maybe. So I would speak to those who came in the 1930s, and then of course I would cross-check, and they would tell me the same story, and so and they would give me their own version of it, how did they sacrifice themselves, what did they used to do, and which individual played a major role, and this person did this and that person did this. There were those who were doing the collection, etc. So of course, we cross-checked again and again. So a lot of the history inside here, especially if you notice the old photos and so on.
Yes.
And I have been collecting these old photos since the mosque began. And it was this love that you have, so it came in handy now. And so yes, we have been cross-checking again and again. And then as the story continued of the mosque, then of course we then moved on to the younger generations. At what used to happen in the time of fasting, because in those days we didn't have that loudspeaker, and so the light for the fasting time, which is the Maghrib Salah, would be on, and the children would be outside on the road looking out. When the light come on, they would know, oh, it's time to break the fast.
Yes.
And so they would run home to their parents and say, okay, time to break fast, time to eat now. And that type of story came in with the younger generation.
Wow. This is interesting. The book is so well put together, and there are chapters after chapters, but it tells a whole chronology of how the Muslim faith was established in Barbados 75 years ago today, through the first mosque, indeed historic mosque of Bridgetown, Barbados. And Sabir was right, because inside there are some wonderful pictures. Is there any of you?
My brother.
Is this your brother? Did I turn to the right page?
This one here.
Hey, Sabir's younger brother, older brother?
Yeah, younger brother. He is 55 or 58
Page 45.
now.
Page 45, and it's at the top right hand. Hey, look at Sabir's brother. And okay, that's cool. And so, what about you?
I'm not in the older pictures, no.
So Sabir's, let me see. Sabir's brother is this one right here.
Isaac.
That is Sabir's brother.
Isaac.
Yeah,
Isaac.
Isaac?
Yes, Ishaq, yeah.
Okay.
Isaac, really, Jesus, we call he's Isaac.
So this book contains not just the written history, but the pictorial history as well. And as you go, you would see how the mosque expanded over time.
Yes.
And it's being told in picture form as well. And so what you have today did not start that way.
No.
It is grander
Yes.
than how it started. And I'm sure as part of the plan for the mosque, Suleiman, is to continue to pour into it.
Yes.
And as much as possible, let it be that place of prayer and fellowship,
Yes.
but in a grand way.
Yes.
So in terms of preservation from that perspective now,
Yes.
so that you're ensured that it still remains something that all Muslims look up to.
Yes.
What's the plan?
So in that particular mosque, they have expanded. They bought the properties around and expanded over years. The expansion started in the late 70s into the 80s. By the late 80s, it was expanded to the size that you see it at. Then eventually they bought other properties, so they have the schools and so on. What has also happened is that obviously Muslims have moved out to the Bridgetown area, so other mosques were established around Barbados, and so that one will probably, the footprint of that one will probably remain that way. It probably wouldn't get larger than that, but activities will continue in that mosque. And I think one of the important points is that the establishment of the mosque represented that Muslims were seeing Barbados as their home and not somewhere temporary. I think that was an important point, that they established a mosque and a structure that was permanent, because they used limestone blocks and steel and everything, permanent structures in the city of Bridgetown, because they saw Barbados as their home and they saw it for the future generations.
This is a book, a must-have indeed. It's a history book. It's not just a lovely little story being told by a lovely set of Muslims. It's a history book. And I think the history of Barbados, when fully put together, has to include the contribution of the East Indians to Barbados. With a foreword by Senator Dr. Chantal Munro Knight, the Minister in the Prime Minister's office.
Yes.
This book is given the official approval.
Yes.
And so we want to encourage people to get it today. So how can we get a copy of the book ourselves?
So you can get it on Amazon, it's online, or you can give myself or Sabir a call, 233-2074.
233-2074.
If you want to purchase a copy.
Right, 233-2074.
Also available at the Barbados Museum in their bookshop. It's also available there.
This is well done, gentlemen.
And we want to thank Minister Chantal Munro Knight, because the Division of Culture played a really important part in our launch in June last year, and they were very helpful to us on this book.
It's about capturing our culture, preserving our history as well as it goes.
And actually we launched it in the month of June. That was the
Heritage Month.
Heritage Month.
Right. But today, 75 years.
Of the Jama
75 years when the doors were open to all Muslims to come worship. Come worship. Come where you pray and live. And so that's what's continuing to happen. The contributions of the Muslims to Barbados in historic mosques of Bridgetown, Barbados. And that's the one that you're looking at right there on your screen. And so, as Sabir said, the door never closes. So at all times a day, at least 5 times a day, Muslims are called to prayer, to reflect yet again. And so we want you to get yourself a copy of the book. It's available on Amazon, or you can call 233-2074, and either of these gentlemen will be happy to get you a copy. It's also available in the bookshop at the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. But this is a must read. This is a must have for children to have to read as well. This is one that can create conversations. You can see yourself, you can see examples of thrift, you can see example of people who are just focused on being true to the deity who they serve. And so I want to encourage you indeed to get a copy as soon as possible. So given all of that, I want to ask a question of you today. Well, I've been asking everybody, could ask, but I'll ask you too, right? So Sabir, what do you think is the most important way to protect Barbados history for future generations? Is it in the preservation of historic buildings and sites? Is it creating shows and documentaries or even books? Is it young people sharing on social media? What do you see to be the best way to preserve our history?
Home is the best place, and mothers and parents are the best teachers. And so the same very way you're going to teach your children manners and so on, right? The best way to protect, first of all, your own lineage, right? You need to tell your children about your life, how you grew up, right? What type of attitude your mother had towards you, what type of school did you attended, how did you play, what kind of games you used to play. So what you need to do from the early age of your child is to inculcate or condition your children into knowing more about your family history first. And then you continue to know about the extended family history. And I think that you need to inculcate that interest within the mind of your child. And that is the only way that we will retain our heritage, our family heritage and the heritage of Barbados. Because people, and I am very passionate when it comes to heritage and learning more about the history of Barbados and so on. And I think that this, I believe, is the best way that we need to continue and keep that heritage. one last thing. I came from India when I was about 10 years old. And I remember like 7, 8, my grandfather, we were farmers. And, you know, they would have the bullock cart full of rice or whatever, and we'll go and sell it at a place. And while going, maybe around 4 o'clock, just after the first Salah, and while, you know, he would tell me stories about his father, about him being a little boy, what he used to do. And so that ingrained in me, and it is still there, and that is what caused me to be writing my 6th book.
Well done, well done. Suleiman.
You need to have a number 5 on that list. All of
What's
the
your
above.
number 5?
All of the above. I think it's important. All of those are important.
Yeah.
And we need to document our history. Document it in whatever way. It could be writing, it could be video, it could be, as you said, on social media, but we need to document it.
These two young men, the co-authors of the book Historic Mosques of Bridgetown, Barbados, Suleiman Bulbulia and Sabir Nakuda. Indeed, gentlemen, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
For sitting with me. I'm richer from this experience.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados comes back with more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment.
something is happening to my body. I'm being so serious. Something is happening to my body, and it's happening to my body today. That's the title of a book written by Cassandra Bowen, and there's a lot of magic in that last name indeed. And she's with me right now as we take a look at something is happening in my body. And what is that book about? Is it more than just a title? Good morning, Miss Bowen.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome indeed. First of all, congratulations on the publication of your book
you.
and its companion publication as well.
Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about the concept behind the book, Something is Happening to My Body.
Something is happening to my body came out of a desire to give parents information for their children at the onset of menstruation. A lot of parents, as a counselor, a lot of parents approach me to tell them how do they approach it, what do they say, because as adults, their parents give them completely different stories. I am one of those persons. So I embarked on talking to a number of young ladies and asking them, if I write this book, what would you like to know? And the information was very interesting. Some of them said, that's not something that I want to go through. Some said, ooh, I got a lot of that. But within that, I'm very thankful, and I must say here to Danielle Shepherd and Latilia Redmond. They were the two young ladies who sat down with me and said, well, we need to know this, we need to know that. And the book became a thing.
Okay. In needing to know this and needing to know that, you had to face the reality.
Yes.
So there was a lot of open, honest
conversation.
But the process, the period of menstruation for a lot of women, is it the same?
No.
Right. So therefore you document, and in this you capture as much as possible the essence.
The essence of it.
Right. All right.
And what I did was to give them the opportunity to have a journal within the book and basically capture what happened to them day 1, day 2, day 3. And then I gave them information from around the world to show them how different what other people do than what we do, because in some countries there are no sanitary napkins. They use mud, they use leaves, they use so many different things that we would not even think about. So I think the book in itself is a compilation of everything that you need to know. What's in that menstrual kit? What do you need to take to school with you? What happens if it comes while you are at school? What do you say to your teacher? What do you say to somebody else? And the first chapter in the book is a very...
Your body is a temple.
Your body is a temple. And I emphasize that because I want you to know that this is the only body you will have. It's not to be violated. It's not to be taken for granted. And if something happens, these are the steps that you should take. If somebody approaches you or says something to you, these are the steps that you should take. So
I can hear a mother saying, oh, thank you, Jesus. Because now I don't have to talk about it. I could read the book. But you're saying to the mother as well, while you have your child read the book, your girl child read the book, you also need to have a conversation with her.
Yes, it is written in such a way that it opens up to conversation about other things. Because from the time you get to this section, people are going to want to know about if I did this, if I did that. So it's an open conversation going into other things. Yeah. It is very interesting that a lot of men bought the book.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
sorry, I don't mean it in a bad way, but
no, but men wanted to know what to say to their girl children, and how to say it. So a lot of them came to me and said, I'm so happy for this because now I know what to say. And I can have that conversation, especially in circumstances where the mother is not present.
And that's good to hear. Fellas, well done.
Yes,
well
I was very pleased about that.
I'm hugely proud of you fellas.
Yes.
Indeed, well done. And so you break it down. You looked at the parts of the body.
Yes.
You talked about the different cycles.
Yes.
How to prepare for how to have the conversation when you find yourself in a little bit of an accident. And just understanding why your body is changing in the way that
it is. And it is age appropriate. You can see it's colorful, it's friendly, and it doesn't overwhelm you in any way. When you get to it, you sit there and you can ask meaningful questions.
Because your comment to me earlier was, ew, and you're right, it doesn't quite overwhelm you at all, but you get in picture form, you see the change.
Yes.
You begin to see how your body changes through this period of growth. And it's a period which, by the grace of God, you're fortunate to go through.
Yes.
And I think if you change your perspective just a little while, you will recognize it's not as bad. It's just
not
a
as
rite
bad.
of
It's not as
passage.
bad. It's your rite of passage into womanhood.
You also in chapter 7 talked about grandma's home remedies.
Yes, that was specifically my piece in the book where my grandmother would talk about, you know, the remedies that she used. It was interesting to hear Nakuda talking about it just now. Those were the remedies that she used, and those were the remedies I gave my daughter and other people's daughters. So it's there. You can use it if you choose to, but it's good to have.
Yeah, it's a good to have indeed.
It's a good to have.
And so it's not a big book.
No.
So it's not going to take you till the end of the year to finish.
No.
But as it ends in the book, you give opportunity to the young girl to give her personal period journal.
Yes.
And why do you think that was important to do?
Because I want them to be able to look back as they get children and be able to pass on that information to them and say, well, look, I had this book. I still have it somewhere stored, and this is my journey. So you too can have your journey.
It is really, really a good book to have. Honestly, it is.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead.
Sorry, the book was actually done in 2017. And this is the second edition. So we added a few more things in 2024.
And now we're in 2026.
And now
so
we're in
it's gonna be a third
2026. We're looking at that third edition where we have a few other things that we can add to it as it goes by.
Something is happening to my body. It's a practical guide and journal on menstruation for girls ages 8 to 12. Access to this in the schools, libraries, and so forth? Or is it one that has to be guided by a...
Well, I must say that I've had so many doors closed in my face in terms of this book. But the good thing about it is that the Sandy Lane Trust believed in the book, and they have allowed me to print 1,000 copies, which we are going to distribute 10 copies to each primary school on the island.
Amen.
And that will be done on Saturday coming at Community College. So with all the negative, that is the positive that came out of it.
See how God works?
He does. He does.
God works.
And I'm happy to have it in every school so that, you know, teachers and guidance counselors and even parents can have something and be happy now that they don't have to about it.
Or ew about it indeed. God works in mysterious
He
ways,
does.
his wonders to perform. All we need to do is be patient. It will happen.
Yes.
It will happen.
There were so many times I threw my hands in the air and said, look, I'm done with this.
It will happen.
But I'm grateful.
I'm so
very
happy for
grateful.
you.
Thank you so
I really,
much.
really am. I really quickly want to briefly touch on Deeper Perspectives. This is another publication you have.
Yes, Deeper Perspectives is a journey of life. It's a sacred journey of life. For those people who are starting out on their sacred journey, this book was penned specifically for them. It is 21 days, and it can take you 21 hours, 21 weeks, or 21 months, because there are so many questions in there that help you to look at you as a person and to guide you along your path. So the response from that book, again, was very, very good. People said, you know, they went through the introspection and could not move any further because it changed their lives in so many ways, and they wanted to be able to take the time to go through it systematically and get it done.
Change takes time.
It does.
Do not rush the process. God took time to build us. To shape us and to form us. And he did it lovingly. You know your parents had to go through the 9 months of wait.
Yes.
And so don't rush the process of deeper perspective, taking another look at yourself indeed.
Yes.
Cassandra Bowen, you are hard at work and you've done well. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
And there's more in the pipe work.
Yeah, well, burst the pipe, let it come, not a problem indeed. And
I'm working on that.
For those watching today who want to get a copy of each,
they're both on Amazon. They can both be had from my website, which is www.goldenhandsholisticcenter.org.
Okay.
They are unfortunately not in the bookstores.
Oh, that's all right. Go to the websites.
Go to the website.
Something is happening in my body. Deeper Perspectives. Look, see them here? They're available online on Amazon. Get your copy fast. Fast, fast, fast. Thank you so much. I wish you only the very best.
Thank you so much, too. Thank
You're
you
very
for
welcome.
having me.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados breaks. We're back with the news and more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. Two of the political parties contesting the February 11th general election hosted national rallies last night, offering solutions to problems they say are affecting citizens. The Democratic Labour Party held its meeting at Independence Square in the city, while the Friends of Democracy, which was declared it wants to form the next opposition, kicked off its campaign at 6 Roads. From his platform in the city, DLP political leader Ralph Thorne accused the Barbados Labour Party administration of taxing the people of Barbados back to colonial status. He charged that it is overtaxing Barbadians, leading to many people suffering in silence as they struggle to make ends meet. Mr. Thorne says if voted into office next month, a DLP administration would reduce VAT.
And they will not stop us from making the pledge to the people of this country that VAT has to be reduced. We understand the government's power to tax, but taxation must be what the economists call progressive. Taxation must not hurt the poor in the middle. And anytime it is hurting the poor in the middle, something must be done.
Meanwhile, former Cabinet Minister Dr. David Estwick says the Democratic Labour Party has a solution for the issues facing the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. During his speech, the St. Philip West candidate briefly touched on the state of the QEH, saying that the DLP has come up with a system to address the problems facing the country's lone tertiary care facility.
It pains me to hear that people say the alien die. It pains me every day when I hear a man has to go inside that place and stay a day or two just to be treated. And I want to say to the people here tonight that Comrade Ralph Thorne and I and other things, we have been sitting down and we have been working out how we can resolve these problems for you.
In 6 Roads, Friends of Democracy candidate for St. Philip South, Omar Smith, says he's a solution to deal with issues facing the agriculture sector. He says he's committed to making Barbados healthy again. Mr. Smith promoted the idea of an organic seed bank to feed Barbadians. He says this will help address the high number of non-communicable diseases in the country and restore self-sustainability.
If we're going to make agriculture right in Barbados, we have to really look at developing a seed bank. And I hope that the Minister of Agriculture is hearing what I'm saying tonight. We have to really build a seed bank so that when we grow our food, we can take back out the seeds and use them. And we don't have to wait to go and get our seeds from a general store. This was the practice that was held by our foreparents. And under my governance, this is what we will restore. Self-sustainability, self-governance, and a realistic approach.
And the leader of the Friends of Democracy, Karina Goodrich, has declared her party will be pushing for an improvement in social services.
So I'll be advocating for more reliable bus routes, better scheduling, and increased coverage to ensure that residents can travel to work, school, and essential services without difficulty. One of the other things that I'll be advocating for also is to ensure that Barbados have the flyovers that they need.
Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley says several challenges prevented Barbados from becoming world-class within the 7-year timeline set in 2020. But she says the country has now moved firmly into Mission 2030. Ms. Motley was speaking to the media after attending a service at the Church of God at Jackson yesterday.
This is not just taglines. This is basically setting a journey to tell people that I don't expect things to change overnight. But if we stay the course and we keep building and we keep building and we keep building, that within that 7-year period we can make major achievements. But if you measure it only as you go along the journey, liken it to losing weight. If you want to lose 40 pounds and you keep studying, oh Lord, I want to get to 20 pounds, oh I can't get no further, and you're only losing a pound a week, you don't feel sometimes you're going to get there. Let us not be weary. I said it at Independence. When we become weary, we may say, oh, can I continue? Yes, you can continue the journey. But it is when we become weary, we need to hold on to each other and to be able to give each other the assistance that we need to continue on the journey.
The Prime Minister is urging Barbadians not to grow weary as the country continues on the path.
But we must never give up, and that's why the words of our president should forever ring in our heads. No retreat, no surrender. And our job as a government is to help you and to help lift you and to continue to guide us along the way. Sometimes, as I said, we may falter, but when we falter, we get back up and we do the right thing. And that is what I want Bajans to understand, that this is a journey. This is not a single event.
The police are urging motorists with dash cams to come forward after a shooting in the car park of the Usain Bolt complex yesterday left one man dead. Police Public Relations and Communications Officer Acting Inspector Ryan Brathwaite said the victim was found slumped in his vehicle when officers responded to a report that came in around 11:15 yesterday morning of a man having been shot.
Investigations so far have shown that this male would have driven into the area sometime during the morning and was approached by a male wearing a black t-shirt and a black three-quarter pants. Gunshots were heard and that male was seen running away from the area.
The acting inspector is asking all of you or any of you who has information to come forward.
We're appealing to anyone who may have been in the area, who would have traveled along the coast road coming towards Usain Bolt or going away from Usain Bolt, who may have seen this male and could assist the police with this investigation, to please contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477, Police Emergency at 211, or the Black Rock Police Station at 417-7500 or 417-7501. Now, even if your car is fitted with a dash cam, that could be of some assistance. Remember that this incident occurred anyway around 11 o'clock. So if you were on that roadway between 10:50 a.m. and let's say 11:15 a.m., your assistance will be greatly appreciated.
Let's look at sports now. The West Indies under 19 registered a vital 25-run victory using the DLS method over Ireland under 19s in their first Super 6 Group 1 match of the ICC under 19 World Cup yesterday in Namibia. Opting to bat first at the high-performance oval, Joel Andrew led the Windies with 66, while Jonathan Van Lange and Aidan Raka chipped in with 28 runs apiece in a score of 226 all out in 46.5 overs. Ruben Wilson took 3 for 50. In reply, Ireland under 19s had their target revised to 190 from 40 overs owing to rain, but were held to 164 for 7 as player of the match Michael McKenzie returned figures of 4 for 36. Here are the highlights. It's 1919 have one more Super 6 match. They're playing against Australia, and that match is on Wednesday, starting at around 3:30 Barbados time, 3:30 in the morning. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back with more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 18 and a half minutes now after 7 o'clock on Morning Barbados, and I love to celebrate young people. You know I absolutely do, because they have a voice, they have a brain, they have a mind, they have a heart, they have a passion, they have something to say. And I think as old as I get, I will always have time to listen. And I hope this morning, as we spend some time with them now, that you also take time to listen to what the young people have to say in this month of January, as the National Council on Substance Abuse pays attention to Drug Awareness Month as we know it. Under the theme Strengthening Prevention, with me is Mosiah Hoyt, who is right across from me. He is with the NCA. You are the, what do you call yourself? What position?
Counselor.
Mosiah, that's all you are?
Yes. That's a lot of work, person.
You do so much work.
Yep. Very much so, but just a short title of counselor.
Of counselor. All right, so I bow to you. I bow to you indeed. But there's a speak-off competition that the NCS is hosting for young people of school age. Yes. Talk to me a little bit about that competition.
The idea came up about 3 years ago when we were observing Drug Awareness Month, to hear the voices of the youth, hear their perspective on substance abuse and drugs and how it really impacts them. We thought that it was important that they get the opportunity to research topics, they get the skills of how to do research, they just don't take it from any and everywhere, that they understand the skills of public speaking. So we brought in Toastmasters, International Toastmasters in Barbados to assist us there, and then we wanted them to be the voice of their peers. 13, 14, 15, peer influence is much greater than parental or adult influence. So we thought that having their voices to be shared among their peers was also important. So that was part of the reason why we came up with the
Voices of the Youth speech contest, and from their perspectives, that could also influence what we do at the organization so that we meet young people where they are.
How many young people are in the final?
10 brilliant minds are in the finals.
10. Listen, I'm already shivering with excitement. 10 brilliant minds are in the final, which is happening
on Friday.
Right.
Friday at 10 a.m. at Prince Cave Hall, District 8 Police Station. We have 10 finalists there representing 8 schools. So we have Ellerslie, Frederick Smith, Harrison College, Queen's College is there, St. Michael's School is there, Foundation is there, and we have Darrow Jordan there, and one other that I probably, the Springer Memorial School will be representing as well.
Coleridge and Parry, listen to me.
Y'all won last year.
Thank you so much. So therefore, we needed to be back in this year. But nonetheless, that's all right. We have another time coming up for you to be able to submit an entrant into this Speak Off competition. And so 3 of them are with me this morning. There's Connor Webster of the Queen's College. Connor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How do you do?
I'm feeling all right, a little bit nervous.
What are you nervous about?
The speech competition.
Why?
There will be more of an audience there this time, I believe, so a lot more pressure in my opinion. I can't really stick up as much. The judges will be more harsh than last time.
You've had that conversation with the judges already?
No,
So
but
then you can't assume that. But nonetheless, what are you talking about?
Drug policies in schools.
Drug policies in schools?
Yes.
Do you think what's your position? Let me ask you that way. Do you agree that there should be a policy, or do you not agree?
It's kind of a in between, because I feel like it should be obvious that you shouldn't, like children, especially our age, children in general, shouldn't have the thought to bring drugs to school. But it's also depending on their background, where they come from, you don't really know their personal life, so things might have happened that might make them turn towards that kind of stuff. So I don't really have a stance whether I disagree or agree. It's just, how would I put it? It's just something that you wouldn't think would happen in children that are under 18 especially.
And that's going to be your point?
Yes.
That's your point. I like that fact you're sticking to your point. In terms of preparation, research, and that kind of thing, how has that been for you?
Well, it's been going okay. Not necessarily too good, because as I said before, when you go online on Google and try to research, like specifically I try to research the different schools, and the rules is not like anything that's saying, oh, you should not bring like, or anything that's hinting. So I was thinking to myself, I would ask my friends that go to different schools and see if they've ever heard or seen anything that's of that sort happening.
In other words, no anecdotal stuff you're coming with fact.
Yes.
And so I can't wait to hear you, boy. I just love this. Is this something you do often? Not argue, but you know what I mean? You speak and have an opinion?
Well, I'm on the debate team. We never have a competition, but I like public speaking. I'm not the best at it sometimes, so.
But you're doing pretty well so far, I'm telling you. Well done. Coming back to you. Zafira. I just love her name. She corrected me earlier, Claude. It's not Zafira, it's Zafira. Am I right?
Yes, please.
Zafira Taylor, you're with the St. Michael's School. Talk to me a little bit about your decision to put yourself forward to represent your school in this Speak Off competition.
Well, obviously I really like my school, and I'm a very avid member in the debate team. So when the opportunity came for me to do public speaking, I like speaking, so I took it.
What your parents say, girl, you are so argumentative.
They say that a lot.
See, so naturally you, right? What is your subject you're speaking on Friday?
I'm speaking on teen drug users should face punishment or support.
Should face either punishment or support. What's your position?
Well, I highlighted the different types of punishment and support, and I sort of came to the conclusion that punishment and support is not sufficient alone. They have to work together in order to, help teens.
A little bit of punishment and a little bit of support at the same time, right? You believe this is absolutely practical?
I think that obviously it varies on the situation, but I feel like it should be something that's implemented unless there is other factors that go against it.
Connor's in total agreement with you. He was nodding while you were speaking, right, Connor? Because
Yes.
you think there's a balance. There has to be a bit of punishment and
Yes.
yet at the same time some support. So a tough love, but a little bit of soft love at the
Yes.
same time. Why?
Too much of a good thing can also be a bad thing, in my opinion. So you shouldn't have one more than the other. It might not work out so well. Or you could try both rather than just trying one alone.
All right. This young man I know so well. Damani Christie from the Foundation School. Damani, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Yes, please.
You always have an opinion. The last time I sat with you, you've always had an opinion.
Yes, please.
And so it's that drives you to be a part of your speech club and so forth. So talk to me about why you chose to be a part of this competition.
I chose to be a part of this competition because I think that the use of drugs is something that no matter where you are in the world, you know someone or around you. It's such a prevalent issue in the modern age, and I just felt that I love having an opinion, love speaking on certain things. So when I got the opportunity from my teachers at my school, I was like, yes, I must do this. And I just love to, as I said, give my opinion, and not only that, but try to spread awareness about certain issues and not judge, but just to understand. I think that's really, really important. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, yes, I must do this.
You said, no, regardless of where in the world, you must know someone. Do you know of someone who's struggling with addiction?
I know of a certain people, not like personally.
Okay.
But I've met them because my friends, for example, some of his family members. So yeah, it can be really sad to see how that one person can just hurt their family so much. And it's really sad to see that happening. But obviously people at the NCSA can help them, as he would know.
But the issues that would lead to addiction, have you done research about that? What are some of the circumstances that people find themselves in that would cause it to make it so difficult for them to turn away from?
Yes, I have. I've researched so much because
What have you found?
my topic is the rise of vaping.
Oh.
And I was looking at it, and it is quite a youthful issue, if you will, because vaping is such a big issue among the younger community. So a big part is peer pressure. A really big part is peer pressure, and seeing other people do drugs and being forced to do it also, or feeling if you want to fit in, I must do this. That's a really, really large part of it. A really large part.
Zafir was also nodding. I'm watching your body movements as you guys are listening and talking. So Zafir, what's your opinion on this one?
Well, yeah, I feel like vaping is a really big issue on people our age, and I think that him going to speak about it when he is our age and not just some adult telling youth what to do, I feel like it'll connect more with the audience.
Connor?
Well, vaping, as both of them said, is a very modern issue, especially with our age group, children in general, a bit older than us maybe, because as they said, peer pressure and the need to sometimes fit in, because sometimes if you're not like in that group of people, like the popular kids or whatever you want to call it, you get bullied sometimes. So it's mainly a need to fit in my opinion, and not be different, so that you don't feel alone.
I'm going to say point blank, you don't have to tell me it's your school or not. Is drug use in school a problem? Your thoughts? Yes or most?
Definitely.
You think
most
so?
Definitely.
And okay, Zafira?
Yes, I think so.
You think so? Damani?
Yes, please.
For sure? Do you see it among peers? Do you see it, and I don't call out anyone in particular, but do you see a lot of people your age struggling with addiction of whatever type?
I had a very shielded, I'm still having a very shielded childhood, so I wouldn't.
Me too.
I wasn't exposed to, I have never seen a child my age going through that before, so I can't really say much on that part.
Can I edit you?
No, I was very sheltered with it.
You're sheltered too?
Yeah.
Sheltered too. Fair enough. And that's all right. I understand the reservation, and that's what something we want to talk about, Mosiah, because sometimes we don't want to speak on somebody. We don't want to call them out for what it is. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more right after this break, folks.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So, Big Debbie, they can't see. Was that like a big lump in front of them? 27 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. I was showing the youngsters here just what it looks like on TV, you know, but nonetheless, these are 3 young ones who are part of this Speak Off competition this Friday in District A Hall. And so these are the young people of Barbados who have an opinion. Look, see if you can see yourself. Peep around, Mosiah. It's all right. And there they go. From the Queen's College School, St. Michael's School, and Christchurch Foundation. These are just 3 of the, how many again, Mosiah?
3 of the 10 finalists that we have. But we had about 26 or so in training who went to the qualifying round. And after the qualifying round, we cut it down to the top 10. And they're going to battle off on Friday.
Each of these has a different topic.
They do.
And would all of them have a different topic, or there are only 3 topics from which to choose?
There were 5 topics, and each student pulled one of, well, 5, one of the 5, and then they had to really tailor the speech based on their opinion. We left it broad enough so that they could have an opinion, target the research, and then create the speech and then deliver based on their opinions.
And it's good to hear from the school children.
It is.
Speaking of which, because sometimes they don't talk, from where you sit as a counsellor with the NCSA, are you hearing enough about what's happening in our schools and how children are struggling with addiction of any sort?
So most of the clients that I see happen to fall within the adolescent demographic. So I see teens from like 12, 13, and they go up into adults. But with most of the population that I see are adolescents. And yes, there is a challenge among our young people with drug use. Some it's experimental, but for many of them it's problematic because it's used to cope with challenges. Peer pressure, as Damani said, is one of the reasons. There's curiosity. Vaping is new, though not intended for use as it is now. Vaping has taken, there's an interest from young people, the curiosity behind it. But we still realize, and our research shows, that marijuana is still the leading cause for young people entering treatment, either from school referrals, parents who are concerned, the juvenile criminal system. We have referrals from those entities. So it is a challenge, and we're working assiduously on helping our teenagers through treatment, yes, but also with prevention. So the speech contest, this is a preventative measure because prevention must go hand in hand with treatment because education is important for our young people.
There's a lot of concern, Connor, about marketing to you guys. somehow the marketing is so attractive that makes even the worst thing seem like the best thing in the world. Does that concern you as a general approach about the way that big old hardback adults are marketing these harmful products to you?
Yes, I feel like sometimes it's not only the adults that market, sometimes they get children to market to other children, and that goes back to the peer pressure. If one of your friends, one of your very good friends, and a big friend group is selling to you and you see everybody else buying and like, oh, that looks interesting, I want to try that. That's sometimes how it would lead to drug addiction and drug use.
Is that fear of the girl child? Because not that the girl child is so different from the boy child, but the girl child, she tends to get a different kind of approach from marketers as well. Talk to me a little bit about what you see, what concerns you as it relates to marketing to the girl child.
I think it's really not necessarily just the marketing aspect of it. I think it's the social norm around using drugs, and I feel as, not to put my entire gender in a stereotype, but I feel like it's just common that we want to fit in and we don't necessarily want to be the odd ones out. So if you see, like, say my friend doing drugs, and it's not necessarily your friend is pressuring you into doing it, it's seen as something that's normal because of how often it's marketed to people our age. So we just want to experience what everyone else is experiencing. So I think that's kind of, like, disturbing.
Yeah. Damani's head almost dropped off in nodding with you just now. So Damani, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, because I think that when you look at the marketing that they really employ, it appeals to children so much. They use different smells, different aromas. They use like these shapes that are considered like childish, and the images that they plaster on these vapes is so marketed towards children. I don't think people realize it enough, but yeah, I think we really need to stop with it because why are we marketing these things towards children before their brain is fully developed, and knowing that it can cause many things like depression, anxiety. I think your brain only develops when you're 25, and you don't consciously make that decision and make good decisions until you're probably that age. So I don't think we should be marketing these things for people and children, little children, so young.
Zafiri, do you think adults have let down young people as it relates to their being able to manage their emotions and not be so tempted by these unhealthy substances?
I feel as though it's common knowledge that drug use, it really comes from a stem of it replacing something. So I wouldn't necessarily say that adults have let us down, but it's a case where in Barbados, especially if teens are struggling with mental health, we get told to like just shut up and do what you gotta do. So I wouldn't say that they let us down, but they aren't exactly what we need.
Connor, your thoughts?
As she said, in my opinion, they haven't let us down because they can go through the same thing that we go through when it comes to addiction and drug use, obviously. So it depends also on what background they come from, because as she said as well, people tend to tell us to just shut up and do what you have to do, get through it yourself. Especially this is not a stereotype, but especially with men, we don't sometimes really have somebody to lean on as much, in my opinion. So we kind of have to deal with it ourselves, or sometimes we feel we have to deal with it ourselves because, we're not really the best at displaying our emotions sometimes. So
I would love to have a think tank with you guys. You guys are so brilliant indeed. Connor Webster of Queen's College, Zafira Taylor of the St. Michael's School, Damani Christie of the Christchurch Foundation School, and Mosiah Hoyt of the National Council on Substance Abuse, also from Foundation School, by the way. Was it Foundation?
No, BSMS.
Pardon me?
SMS.
You went there?
I did.
I apologize.
That's all right.
I feel for you. But I wish you well. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning, each of you. I wish you well in your competition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, the best man or woman will win, but I think each of you has a voice that has to be heard, and I want to hear more of it. Okay? Promise me?
Yes.
Don't go quiet. Don't go quiet. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you, Mosiah, as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're taking a break here, folks. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can
Listen, early morning wall crawlers. Listen, viewers of Morning Barbados. You would not believe who I have sitting across from me right now. You will not believe. Because the man whose comments you would read, and I would read every single morning, the man who would have listened while I was working on radio on morning on Q100.7 FM and would have engaged with us all the time, Roosevelt Bacco Corbin is right here. And this is the first time we meet him. Roosevelt, morning to you, man.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Pearson.
Bacco.
I'm so happy to sit at your chair
It's good to see you too.
Yes.
And you brought your brother Ian with you. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. It's lovely to be here.
Good to have you. These are two northern men, folks. These are three northern men here sitting down, as a matter of fact. Three northern men sitting here, as a matter of fact. So, Bacco, what brought you here?
Well, brought me in this home to Barbados for this short little time is the death of my father, which I would say also 9 months after my mom, brought us into this lovely little island. That's why I'm back in the island again so quickly.
Condolences, man.
Thank you.
You still have that smile.
Yeah, I can't lose that. I can't lose that. No.
So for those who, okay, I said we're northern men. So where in the north are you from?
Well, like I always love to boast about this part. I'm from Checker Hall, and I always say straight 4 Crossroads, can't miss.
There you go.
I would always say it, Checker Halls in St. Lucie.
So you're within the bottom bounds of Babs, Fusted Village, Broomfield.
Yes.
Heading towards Sutherland Hill and so forth. You're that quadrant area there.
Right in that area.
Backo is home. And what about
Backo
you,
is
Ian?
home.
Yeah.
Same area?
I'm from, yes. Because my father, obviously, is from Fusted Village, St. Lucie. My mother lived in Harris's, where her mum and so forth grew up. So I am a St. Lucie man, true and true.
So the little boy who left that little area there, Backo, is that the same little boy we have here sitting with me now?
I was kind of, not quite, but I love the happiness about me, and I really, really enjoy being, I would still say yes,
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yeah, because I see you're social, and I see the joy for living and traveling and experiencing.
Oh, yeah. And with my wife who's here, she's not on set with us, but she's here with me because she don't leave me alone, and she made sure, my wife made sure who close to she husband.
You chose her. I hope you know that.
I haven't made a bad choice. I haven't made a bad choice. Mrs. Corbin, I love you, darling.
Oh, you're using big words this morning, right? I love it. But reflect for me on the little boy from that area and the people who you grew up with.
From that little area, let me see if I can remember a few names. You know when you stamp how that is.
I know it is. Ian, what about you? While Backo gathers his thoughts.
I'd say, as I said, as Backo said, we both are here today, as well as my sister over here with us, Angela Barnett, from London. As I said, my dad unfortunately passed in December, and we came over to bury him, which we did on Friday. We had Admiral did the streaming, and I'm sure that people will get to see the actual service and how well done it was, But yeah, me, as the same little fat boy, as you would say, from the north, I see myself as one of the hard-working little boys. But I still see myself as an ordinary person and mixed with the folks. I come over here and I mix with each and every one, and there's no change to what I do, as you probably know from time that I'm a funeral director in England. And we had lots of trials and tribulations and battles, but we get the job done.
What's your view of Barbados from the UK? While you're in the UK, when you look back at Barbados, what do you see?
What I see is a lot of future. I see that Barbados is moving with the times, and they're way ahead of a lot of other islands, and I just like the way things are done here. We tend to keep everyone together. We know that there's politics going on at the moment and elections, but it is for me,
part of life.
Part of life, and we just want things to run lovely and smooth in Barbados.
What about you, Backo? What do you see when you look back at Barbados? Because you live in New York.
Yes.
So talk to me.
Well, I've been living in New York now since January 12th of 1978, precisely.
Wow.
And looking back at Barbados, it have really developed. I must say, really, really developed as I drive around. Sometimes I can't help it, but even though, yes, I born in Barbados, I leave here when I was 19 years old, 4 months short of my 20th birthday. And I remember, and I look around as I drive and I'm saying, oh my God, look at this. And I'm amazed to see how developed Barbados have become. And my electric buses, I love them. I haven't ridden them now, but I enjoy watching them. And I look around, I see the seaside as we drive and go by, and I see the roads that they develop and everything. I really think that Barbados have come very far. Very.
And when you go home in St. Lucie,
yes,
does it still feel like home? Do you still recognize home?
Yes, I do. You have a few changes, but yes, I still say I feel like at home when I goes to St. Lucie and I pass through, yes, I enjoy looking around. I really, really do. Barbados have developed quite a bit. Chakra Hall have developed quite a bit. You know, yes.
What does it mean to you to be in New York? I mean, every morning we just say good morning and Bako is there. Bako is commenting.
The man.
Is this? And I know you did the same thing on the radio with the radio. You listen
yes.
and you listen all day. You love Q in the community. You enjoy
Yes.
the music. You enjoy everything. I see your words. And so, talk to me a little bit about home from home. How do you be Barbadian in a foreign land?
Being Barbadian in a foreign land, I especially like when I'm out and like my wife would always say, once you see a Bajan, oh Lord, forget he. She said, once you see a Bajan, he must say hello. Pearson, it is true. Even in London, once I hear that Bajan accent, excuse me, where you from again?
Yes.
We use a Bajan like me. Oh boy, and I enjoy the meeting with my Bajan family.
Yes.
Being in New York, like wherever I go, and I hear a Bajan talking. I hear, like I remember one day we were on a cruise, and and I passed by and I just see this short lady and her son, and I just heard her talking to her mom, and I hear that Bajan accent. Who tell she come up with that Bajan accent? Who tell her come up with that? Right then I stop.
Yes.
Excuse me, what part of
And
right.
open up a conversation.
And they open up a conversation.
Yes.
London, the same thing. My wife would tell you, once you miss him, he back there talking to somebody. True. I mean, being a Barbadian in New York, to me, my way, I love it. It's nice. I'm one of those that haven't forget where I come from. I haven't forgotten. I come from, and I proudly always tell folks, I'm from St. Lucie. Yeah. Like Pearson do. Every
That's
morning.
Right.
Pearson do. He proudly, yes, he may live somewhere else like myself, but we are from the north.
That's right.
And I'm proud to say, here I am.
Here he is.
St. Lucie, love you.
I love it. Ian, what about you? How is it to be Barbadian in a foreign land?
Sometimes it can be a bit tough, but the way I try and work it and the way I try and enjoy it is that I just enjoy being from Barbados, and when I meet up with my fellow Barbadians as well, like Bako said, you know, it's quite easy for them to realize. From the time I hear a voice, I mean, for argument's sake, one day I was just locking up my shop or my office, and I was on the phone speaking to someone, and a young lady walked past and she said, "You're Bajan." I can hear you. I said, "Yeah, where you from?" And she said to me, "Actually, Holders Hillside." And then we start speaking and so forth, and just like that, we became friends, if you want to call it, associates and so forth.
Right.
And that's how it is. But obviously, I interact with a lot of them. We also have a Barbados community in what we call Walthamstow Market. Gentlemen have a restaurant there, you know, and he's very popular, well known now. So a lot of the Bajans hang out there on the Fridays and Saturdays.
I was going to ask about the food, but you tell me, there's a market space and there's an eatery where Bajans can enjoy Bajan fare?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, but I myself do lots of cooking.
You do?
I do lots of baking and lots of pudding sauce and fish cakes, and so I'm well known as the fish cake man.
Yeah.
On the sweetbread. And you might be surprised to hear this. Usually, you hear Bajans having to send, or people in Barbados having to send bread to London. But in my case, it's the opposite. I send bread from London to Barbados.
Whoa.
Because there's people here who just enjoy it when they come over.
Wow.
So people find it strange when they hear, we getting bread from England. We'll be baking it in Barbados. But that's how it
There's
is.
a different touch and taste to yours.
Definitely different touch and taste.
What about you, Bako, in terms, I mean, naturally in New York, there's so many other options you have for food. What is it like having your taste for Barbados food met?
Having taste for my food, you know, like for instance, like when I go, what can I call a name?
I'm not sure. Depends what you would tell me.
No, nothing wrong with me. Like in where I go to do my Bajan shopping and get my Bajan stuff, I do go around.
In Barbados or in New York?
In New York. I go around and make sure I find once I hear there's a Bajan store somewhere, close by in the Flatbush area.
Right.
Area, big up. You know, I always try to find where that store is located.
Yes.
And get I love a Bajan turnover. I love a lead pipe, you know. And I like to have my kingfish, macaroni pie. You know how we love macaroni pie, you know. And I enjoyed just going. Once I hear there's a Bajan store, or even like when we go to those, when you have in the summer, you have your place, can't come to mind right now. And I always look for that Bajan stall. Like when we have Bajan Day.
Yes.
When we have Q Day in New York. Right up my alley.
Perfect. Perfect indeed.
Perfect.
Listen, man, I want to give you, I know there's some people you want to say hi to.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My number one, my former school teacher from when I was at St. Lucie Secondary School, now Daryl Jordan. Way up in the north is Gladwin Graves.
She's at the primary school.
No.
Gladwin did not teach at the Daryl Jordan.
You sure?
You asking me? That's my sister?
Yeah.
My sister here?
Man, I think it was St. Lucie Secondary School, yeah.
But because the is on the same compound.
Same compound.
Okay.
So perhaps that's how your engagement. So Gladwin, Bako says good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to come by and see you, but I'm not sure if I can make it yet. You know, time will depend on the snow. Depend on the snow.
I get you.
Tomorrow.
I really hope you make it indeed. But so to everyone, we really want to wish you, we're happy to have you.
Yes.
Quick question. What do you think it is that we should be let me sure I get my question right. The question of the day is, what is the most important way to protect Barbados history for future generations? Is it preserving historic buildings and sites, creating shows and documentaries, having young people share on social media, or just books and other oral education? What do you think? Ian, you could think about the two.
The historic sites.
We preserve those historic sites?
Yes.
All right. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we should preserve our historic sites, but the young people of Barbados today should be a lot more involved and educated into history and the past, so that we don't lose that. I mean, I would say that because, for argument's sake, say like, my father just passed and he was 89 years old, and there's only one person today that can give me the knowledge and the history that I would like as a family, as to who was and what happened.
Yes.
When he passes now, it's dead, it's finished. Yeah. There's no, we just have.
We got to document a whole lot more and preserve a whole lot more.
Before we get this quickly. Good morning to Jennifer Noel, my cousin.
Okay.
I must say hello to her.
All right,
and
sir.
her mom, Charlene Thornton, good morning.
Thank you, Bako.
Yes.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you
Welcome
very much.
home again. I know it's under circumstances that are not necessarily joyful, but it's good to have you, good to meet you in person, Bako, as well.
Yes.
And Ian, good to see you again.
And I'll be flying back.
Don't take it with you. All right, folks. We're going to take a break right here. We're coming back in a moment.
Time flies, then get up on the rice. Come and get 10 in the box of 5. If when I lie, when I liable to get hospitalized, penalized, chastised and terrorized. The mosquitoes out to kill, don't let them at your right when I will. If when I lie, when I liable to end up in a body bag. If when I stray, when I can catch, then get right away.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning.
Well, that's it for today. I want to thank you so much for keeping us company. My little crew joins me saying to all of you, have a terrific today. Be the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. But before we go, we want to share with you something from social media. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
St. Trinella for the mosquitoes and sandflies. Dengue upon the rice. Come and get 10 in the box of 5. If we're like, we're liable to get hospitalized, penalized, chastised and terrorized. The mosquitoes out to kill. Don't let them at you right when I will. If we're like, we're liable to end up in a body bag. If we're stray, we're not gonna catch dengue right away. 10 cents for $5, people. St. Trinella for the mosquitoes and the insects that bite them. Wake up.